Hey, Motorman here, and I'm about to take this 2015 Harley-Davidson Low Rider for a ride. The reason I picked this bike is, well, it's got pretty low mileage, 15,000 or so, and it's only $94.77. I believe that's the asking price. And I love the looks of this Low Rider. It reminds me of the 77 model. When they first came out with this extremely popular bike, I think it was their best seller for 2-3 years at least when this model came out, and this looks most like the original 77. I love the full fender look. Don't like chopped fenders. It's got the 103 motor. This is the Dyna chassis, rubber mounted. So let's take it for a ride. Reason I chose this particular bike to ride today is because, well, it's under 10,000 bucks. I think they're asking $94.77, something like that. It's only got 15,000 miles on it. This has the 103 motor, which some people prefer to the Milwaukee 8s. I don't know why, but some people do. This, of course, has aftermarket drag type pike, and it sounds like they do have the baffles in, which is a good thing, because taking out the baffles, you lose that low end torque. Riding position, pretty good. I believe these bikes came with forward controls, and this bike, of course, has them, but I think these are aftermarket forward controls on here, like Kuryakin's. Sorry about having to have this camera sticking up like that, but there's not much you can, not many places you can hook the camera. The side shots looks like it's not going to work this time. I know you folks like those side views, but if there's no crash bars or anything to hook it up to, I'll stop it a little while and see if there's another place I can clamp that camera to. This bike seems to have plenty of power. This is, like I said, the 103. I don't know if there's any motor work done to it, but it sure feels plenty fast. I think this bike might have a torque cam in it, because it sure does seem quick. Excellent throttle response. This is the Dyna chassis, which a lot of people also like better than the new Softail chassis. There's going to be some wind noise because, well, there's no windshield on this bike. I believe this is the stock bar setup. The riser's also on this bike, and it is a comfortable, like I said, upright position. The forward controls not so far forward that I have a problem reaching them. And I looked the bike over, and it's in real good shape for a bike that's about 9 years old. Did have the 6-speed transmission on these bikes. Here's a little history on these bikes. The Low Rider came out in 77 and immediately became Harley's bestseller. I remember a friend of mine bought one of these, and he waited something like a year to get the bike. And of course, that was a long year for that guy. But back in the 70s, in fact, all the way up till about 2005, most dealers didn't have very many bikes in stock, and you had to put your name on a waiting list. and give them a deposit, and then wait, like I said, as long as a year, sometimes longer. And you could say what color you wanted, but when a bike came in, first is if you wanted a low rider, you wanted a blue one, well, if a black one came in, they'd call you and say, hey, you're the next on the list. It's not blue, it's black, but if you don't want it, we got a dozen people who do. And most of the time, they'd take the bike, because who wanted to wait another 6 months or a year just to get one? But that's the way it was up until 2006 or so, when the supply met the demand. If you like these reviews on the used bikes, which like I said, I find bikes that I think are a good buy and that would be of interest to my viewers, this is one of them. Give me a thumbs up if you would. Don't forget to subscribe and check this bike out. Right now they've got 65 used motorcycles at Newport Richey Harley-Davidson. So it is a buyer's market. And here's my tip of the week. If you're going to set up just one exercise, make it this one, the intersection. Each leg should be 24 feet wide by 36 feet long. And as you can see, you could practice your U-turns and your quick transitions all at the same time. You could also do figure eights inside this, or circles, whatever you care to. But if you're going to set up just one, this is the one to do it, because it's so versatile. Got to use your head and eyes, friction zone, little pressure on the rear brake.